watch and burn.
Hey everybody! So tonight I am going to be discussing the soundtrack for the first Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. But I guess in a lot of ways too that I'll probably just end up discussing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and the impact that had. Because, wow, was that colossal. But I'm mainly going to be discussing the music, of course, because this, for example, this is where I discovered Superman by Goldfinger, as I'm pretty sure everybody else did too. Now, technically, that being said, that's 100% accurate, but I already knew who Goldfinger was because I had picked up their first album from the Music World at the Pickering Town Center about a year or two prior to this. The record label Mojo had Goldfinger's first one set up in a little, like, you know when you were a kid and you used to buy like hockey cards and shit? Well, you know, they'd come in that little cardboard box. They'd have the little display back that would have whatever picture of whatever athlete on it or whatever. Now I'm thinking about how for a while there they had serial killer trading cards, and when my parents found that I managed to get my hands on some, they confiscated them and I never saw them again. I was like, yeah, I got Gary Ridgway. Oh my God, I got Ted Bundy. And now that I'm in my 40s, I realize why my parents wouldn't want the 10-year-old me to have those. But anyways, that's not this. Now, because of their first record, I mean, their first record's rad. My Girlfriend's Shower Sucks is on there. King for a Day is on there. Here in Your Bedroom is on there. Mabel's on there. Pictures is on there. That record is amazing, but it wasn't enough to get me so into Goldfinger that I would go out and buy their second one, which of course was Hang Ups, that had the song Superman on it. So this was the first place that I heard Superman. And like I said, a billion other people as well. And honestly, I don't think that there could have been anything better that could ever have happened to a band like Goldfinger. Having that song on this soundtrack must have blown their career up in a way that they could never have seen coming. Because that song, as everybody knows, as of 2024, is sort of the siren song that everybody sort of automatically thinks of when they think about this game. My absolute favorite thing about this soundtrack was just how it seems like, I mean, with every little kid playing this game, it was going to introduce all of them to a wide world of punk bands. I mean, the Dead Kennedys are on here, the Vandals are on here, Suicidal Tendencies are on here, the Suicide Machines are on here. Primus is on here. They're not the punkest, but they still sort of punk, I guess. Jerry's a race car driver. I mean, the songs on here are amazing. You got Police Truck from the Dead Kennedys, which I can no longer listen to. Jerry was a race car driver. I will always love that song. New Girls on here from the Suicide Machine. Psycho Vision from the Suicidal Tendencies. Euro Barge. I hate the Vandals, but it's not a bad song because I am the ambassador of Kick Your Asseter. I mean, this game, of course, this game hit like, oh Christ, this was like a nuclear explosion. This actually got me and my friends off of GoldenEye. Now that's saying something, because, did my light just die? I think it might have. There we go. But yeah, so we were playing GoldenEye like crazy, and it was like just endless rounds of multiplayer. And for anybody that used to play GoldenEye, I think the worst thing that could happen is if you had one of your friends, like I had one of my friends, always wanted to be fucking Oddjob. I fucking hated Oddjob. He was like this big. He'd come up and do that fucking chop. He'd be at your ankles. You couldn't get him. It didn't matter if you had like the RCP 90 and you're like, zzz. He would always find a way to sneak in. The only way to fucking kill Oddjob in GoldenEye was if you had like the grenade launcher and you saw him running down the hallway towards you. You could dunk, 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 or start tossing like proximity mines at him. Why am I talking about GoldenEye? Tony Hawk changed everything. Despite how completely unrealistic of a like skateboarding game this is still like, well, actually, no, I really liked the second Tony Hawk, too, and I also really liked the first Tony Hawk Underground. But this is the one I always go to, because this game made me feel like a badass when I was able to figure out how to do the holy shit move around the outskirts of the warehouse at the start. I felt pretty much like, because I always played as Bobby Burnquist, and I was like, because I'm able to do this, like I can grind around the outer edge of the warehouse, I am pretty much Bob Burnquist at this point. It don't matter. Me and him were like this. I mean, oh my God, what else did I want to say about this? My friends actually started skating for a while. They stopped skating for a while, sorry, because they got so obsessed with this. And I remember my one buddy was like, yeah, man, all these fucking little kids and posers and shit are going to be like getting into skating and they don't even have any business skating in the first place. And I'm like, dude, you haven't skated in weeks. Yeah, but I'm not a poser. I'm like, well, you kind of are. You stopped skating to play a fucking video game where you skateboard in the video game. And then there he was bashing people who didn't skateboard and who only skateboarded in this video game. And I'm like, but that's very quickly becoming you, dude. You know? Glass houses and all that. But whatever, it doesn't matter. This soundtrack is amazing. Every song on here counts. Even the songs I didn't love. I mean, at this point, I can't hear Superman anymore. If I hear Psycho Vision or New Girl or Superman, I might lose my mind because holy Christ, have I over-listened to those songs. At this point, I was playing this game and loving these songs and going out and cleaning up my record collection. Like I went out and got Sailing the Seas of Cheese, even though I hate Primus. It's the only song on there I loved, but I bought the record anyways. I went out and got Hang Ups as the result of this. And did I buy anything else off this? No, I think they were the only two that I really liked. And so with Hang Ups, with Goldfinger's second one, I think I've done a video about that. It's probably not coming out for months. But I mean, Hang Ups was amazing. It had Carlito was on there and Too Late was on there and Superman was on there. So that record was a complete worthwhile purchase that I was able to connect to that record because of this game, and I love that when that used to happen. It doesn't really happen as much anymore because of the information overload and because of Spotify. It seems like you don't have to hunt for music anymore. You just see something mentioned in a YouTube video and you fire over to your phone and you look it up on Spotify and there you're listening to it. But at this point, you had to go to the record store to buy the albums. And if I wanted to hear Superman again, of course, the soundtrack for this was never released. So you had to go out and buy the record. And that was so exciting because it made you feel like you were connected to the music and you're more connected to the game. And it was like, damn, you know, I felt like I said, I felt like Bobby Burnquist. I wasn't, but I totally felt like that. But look, that's where I'm leaving it. This soundtrack's amazing. The music on here, in a lot of ways, you could argue that it's timeless, but at the same time, the time is up on New Girl, Psycho Vision, and Superman for me. I can't do it anymore. I'm done with those songs. But that's it. So, like always, if you like this review, or you like this record, fucking record, or you like this game, and therefore you love this soundtrack, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. But most importantly, please don't forget that, my God, the world is so much more fun because you're in it. And I really appreciate you listening to me ramble for motherfucker 8 minutes. Now, I really appreciate that, but never forget that you kick ass. And I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good night. I shouldn't have done that because now it doesn't matter. Have a good night.